So we just had the conversation about St. Vincent on Deprogrammed, which comes out on Thursdays, and you can get it on all podcast platforms. You should do that. Subscribe, rate, comment, do all that stuff. But in that conversation, Bryan brought up the fact that St. Vincent plays guitar, and I did not know that going into this at all, and it completely changed my thought as we were playing. So with that in mind, I wondered, Bryan, has that ever happened? Have you ever found out something about a musician and it just kind of changed how you thought about them in the positive?
Yeah, I mean, it happens a lot in pop music, I think. For me, it was like when I realized that Taylor Swift writes her own music, it made me respect her. I mean, I already liked her music anyway because I'm like half gay, but
half.
Yeah, I'm bi, so I'm half. But finding out she writes her own music, I was like, I fucking love her even more. Like, I have so much more respect for artists who write their own music. So it's always been an issue for me when people don't write their own stuff. So it makes it hard for me to get into them.
Oh, I get that. Now, Peter, have you had that happen to you where you find something out and it just kind of changes you for the better?
Yeah, this was something that happened recently. Like I already love the Beatles. They're like my favorite band. But I ran across an article where they were talking about the Beatles and the sexual revolution of the 60s and 70s. And they pointed out how the Beatles were kind of one of the first bands to change the dynamic of boy and girl songs in their lyrics, whereas they would put the girl as the person of power and the boy as the one hoping against hope to get her attention.
Oh.
I want to hold her hand. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they were kind of like feminists before their time, I guess, which I was like, damn, that's chalk another one up to them for being awesome.
Well, that's
right.
Yeah, that's cool that it could happen for a band that you already liked, like kind of confirmation of, oh, okay, more reason to like them.
Right.
Yeah.
So Jennie, I'm wondering the same. Has that ever happened for you?
Yeah, usually what it is for me is when an artist does visual graphics also, when I find out that they design their own cover art or they do art on their own. One of the first ones I remember was Kurt Kirkwood of Meat Puppets, when I found out that he designed, or did paintings of the cover art. Rob Zombie is another one.
Yeah.
Like whenever I find out that they do, I can't remember his name, the guy from Baroness, does fucking amazing
Oh
artwork.
my God, his artwork is great. Yeah.
Yeah, like I almost commissioned a piece of art from him at one point when I had money just falling out of my ass back a million years ago. It just an extra layer on music that I already love to find out that they're creating something visual to go with it. So.
Dig it. Now, for me, I have to go in the Wayback Machine to high school, and a little song called High Five and Motherfucker and a band called Local H. And, you listen to Local H, and on its face value, they're a rock band. And it's just like, yeah, cool. And then when I bought As Good as Dead and found out that they were a two-piece and they were cranking out that sound and that Scott Lucas was playing his one guitar through a bass amp and like he's just creating all these different sounds with one guitar, it just completely changed what I thought about them, and they rocketed up towards my favorite list, and they haven't left. So like, yeah, it's little things like that can absolutely change my perception on a dime of a musician. But hey, you want to hear more of these conversations, then hey man, I'm just saying, patreon.com/ Oh, hi, Justin. $1 a month gets you in the club, as it were, and you get the after-the-fact conversations and everything else that I'm up to. And also, if you want to listen to our conversation on St. Vincent, it comes out on podcast platforms on Thursdays. Subscribe to Deprogrammed, and we'd love to have you aboard. And there really isn't a goodbye here, so...